Hello, welcome to Levant TV headlines. Russia has criticized US plans to provide, together with Turkey, air cover for Syrian rebels, saying any support for rivals of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad hamper Damascus's fight against the Islamic State. The air campaign against ISIS in Iraq and Syria has killed more than 450 civilians, according to a new report, even though the US-led coalition has so far acknowledged just 2 non-combatant deaths. The leader of Yemen's rebels said a political settlement with the exiled government was still possible after what he called the short-term setback of their ouster from the second city of Aden. Israel's Security Cabinet has approved the detention of citizens suspected of waging violence against Palestinians without trial in a crackdown aimed at capturing the perpetrators of a lethal West Bank arson attack blamed on Jewish militants. And US Secretary of State John Kerry is meeting his Gulf Arab counterparts for talks in Qatar as he attempts to ease the concerns of key allies over the Iran nuclear deal. And now let's have a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting from the UAE, the Khalij Times leads reporting that the UAE will try 41 people for allegedly seeking to overthrow the government to set up a Daesh group-style caliphate in the country. The paper also reports that the UAE ranks number 1 in the Arab world on empowerment of women for the year 2014, according to the Arab Women's Foundation. From the Lebanon, the Daily Star leads reporting that Parliament Speaker Nabih Berri warned he would not vote for Free Patriotic Movement leader Michel Aoun for president if the ex-general was adamant that the legislature is illegitimate. The paper also reports that General Security Chief Major General Abbas Ibrahim says the state is ready to fully implement a prisoner swap deal with the al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front, holding 16 Lebanese servicemen on the northeast border. From Cairo, the Egypt Independent leads reporting that 2 people, including a 4-year-old girl, have been killed in an armed attack on a police officer's private car. The paper also reports that Egypt and Russia are expected to sign a nuclear cooperation agreement by the end of this week. And now let's have a look at the top Middle East headlines from papers here in London. The Independent leads its Middle East news section reporting that the Israeli government has announced it will have a, quote, zero tolerance for Jewish extremists following a surge of fanatical attacks which have left 2 children dead. Israel's Security Cabinet approved strict new measures on Sunday against Israelis who attack Palestinians, which include administrative detention for far-right Jewish suspects, under which detainees can be held for months of years without charges to help curb fanaticism and terrorism. The Telegraph reports that international coalition airstrikes in Iraq and Syria are believed to have killed more than 400 civilians, according to a new report which was released on Monday. Air Wars, a research project tracking the international fight against ISIS, identified 57 separate incidents in which there is publicly available evidence to suggest that coalition bombs killed non-combatants without links to the extremists. The Guardian reports that Saudi Arabia's King Salman left to the south of France from Morocco on Sunday, cutting short a planned 3-week stay after a petition from some 150,000 residents over the closure of a public beach house near his villa. A Saudi source said the king had arrived in Morocco, saying this was part of his holiday program and had nothing to do with the media coverage that his visit had attracted. And now Middle East stories in international papers. In the International New York Times, a report that Israeli leaders have condemned the firebombing of the Damascus home, believed to be the work of Jewish extremists who left behind Hebrew graffiti, as an act of terrorism, and it has stirred a rare outpouring of self-reproach and soul-searching among Israelis across the political spectrum. But it has also reinforced the sense that Israeli law enforcement authorities have for years acted with laxness and leniency towards Israeli citizens. And finally, China's Global Times reports that US Secretary of State John Kerry said the United States and Egypt are returning to a stronger base in their relationship despite tensions and concerns over human rights at the first strategic dialogue between the 2 sides since 2009. For more updates, please visit our website on levant.tv. Thanks for watching and bye for now.